Vibrogenics.
Vibrogenics.
The Vibrogenics.
Vibrogenics.
This really is your frequency medicine cabinet.
It takes sound vibration to a whole new level.
I literally felt a vibration in my body that I hadn't felt in a long time.
This is why I love this, because it's practical.
The Vibrogenics.
Vibrogenics.com.
If you could just try it and feel it, it will change your life.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Caroline, the CEO and founder of Vibrogenics and Regenics. And I have again with me today our medical contributor, Dr. Darryl Bates. I'm so glad that you're here. He's an amazing man. He has specialties in all kinds of things, from regenerative medicine, sports medicine, family medicine, Chinese medicine. You're well-rounded, well-versed on so many things. And I'm really excited to talk to you again. We have a lot of things to cover. I just wanted to briefly address mental health because it is Mental Health Month, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the core of mental health, especially for women, is self-care. Women have a tendency to be caregivers and many times get overextended and too tired to take care of themselves well enough. And taking care of yourself, it's mental, it's physical, it's emotional, it's giving yourself the nurturing, kindness, loving things that you would give to your child, but to yourself. And I think we can do a lot of things for a lot of people, which make us feel really, really good. But I think it's really important to really address those mental health issues. And there are frequencies on the machine. There's a lot of them for different kinds of emotional issues, and people come in and address those. But what I see in our Regenics Wellness Center is it's just as much the frequencies as it is them coming in 3 times a week, doing all these modalities to heal their body. I think it's giving just tremendous transformation on the mental, emotional level.
Yes.
What are your thoughts for other tips on mental health?
I think a lot of it has to do with the intention. When people are coming into your wellness center and they're spending an hour, maybe 90 minutes, they're focused on themselves. There's also an aspect of community because now they're seeing you, they're seeing the staff. Sometimes they're seeing some of the same people that are coming around the same time. And you see people starting to talk with each other. They're kind of catching up and they're forming these bonds. And for whatever reason in our society, self-care just hasn't been emphasized enough. And it's important to be doing something for yourself on a regular basis, regardless if you have something that's quote unquote wrong. Instead of waiting until something is wrong, doing something ahead of time is so important.
I think this should be taught as a class in school. In medical training, you just push yourself and push yourself and push yourself. That is the last thing on the list is self-care. It's all about sleep deprivation, studying like crazy. My aunt, when she was going through medical school, she was working at night as a phlebotomist. And this is in the 50s, right? And she would be so tired that she would study with her pen in her hand like this. And when her pen dropped, she would have just enough sleep that she could keep studying. And she went through medical school like that. She got done with medical school. She went home to see her mom. And she said she pretty much slept the entire summer. She'd get up and have breakfast. But it's amazing how hard we push ourselves. Especially when you get into medical training, even into medical practice. Seeing doctors that are finally retiring going, wow, I can think about what I want to do this morning.
And part of it is when I was going through medical school, that was just part of the culture, right? You can sleep when you're dead. You would hear that all the time. When I went through, we didn't have a work hour restrictions. So it was common when you took call, let's say you showed up at 6 a.m. to round, you worked the entire day. So now it's 6 in the evening. Now you take call the entire night. Now it's 6 a.m, but then you have to work the entire day. And then you're able to go home by the time it's the late afternoon or early evening. And then you go home, you sleep, and then you come back. So
you do it again.
And depending, like if you were on trauma surgery or if you were on certain rotations, you were doing every other. And you did that for a month or for however long the rotation was. And then as residents, that was just part of your life. So one of the things that is a criticism that I have of conventional medicine is the way that doctors are taught. They're not taught to take care of themselves. If you can't take care of yourself, how are you to teach someone else to take care of themselves?
That's exactly the point. Exactly the point. And that's something that I think really needs to be emphasized. I think people would be so much healthier. There's so many people in a maintenance mode. They get by, they take the medications that they're prescribed, they do their job, they take care of their family, but they don't ever get that education or that missing piece on what you need as far as the self-care to really be whole and healthy.
Yeah.
Antidepressants are the number one prescription in the US. Painkillers are number two. And that's pretty sad. I think as practitioners, if we can start focusing on that, some with our patients, even writing a prescription for something like that, for some self-care things, whether it's half hour every day,
Yeah.
I think would be a great thing to integrate.
And every once in a while when I'm texting or communicating through the platform with someone, I'll write, I wish that I could give you 2-week vacation in some tropical paradise, because I know that would solve so many issues, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to have a break from the hustle, the bustle, the rat race. And one of the questions that I'm waiting for someone to answer is, for all of these prescriptions that are being written, how many people are taking them and how many of them work? Because are these prescriptions being written over and over again because the first medication didn't work, the second medication didn't work, the third medication didn't work, or now they're on 2, or now they need to be on 3, but it's still not working? And maybe one of the reasons it's not working is because, again, we're not looking at the root cause.
Exactly. That self-care is just huge. And probably the same thing goes out to entrepreneurs as, busy doctors. You get so caught up and so busy. It would be nice to take a couple of weeks, but I think even focusing on taking time each day for your self-care, because I do know that we have, even in our wellness center, we have people that have been on antidepressants for years and they've had an additional one added in, and they're trying to do frequencies. They're afraid to go off their antidepressants. It's like, let's really get to the root cause and this self-care, especially it runs rampant among women. Women have the hardest time with it.
Just going back to what you mentioned about entrepreneurs, what a number of entrepreneurs have figured out is they become more efficient. They can do more work. Their brain works better when they take care of themselves.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of entrepreneurs that start working out, that use red light or cold plunge. I've had some of the neighbors that have come through, and now that they're using the Vibrogenics, they feel better. And they're starting to realize, like, wow, when I'm feeling better, I'm thinking faster. I'm getting more work done, right? So it's kind of it's an investment in yourself in order to make more money, but at least they're investing in themselves. So for me, a win is a win. So if that is the hook that gets them taking care of themselves, so be it.
I think the Vibrogenics is the perfect thing because 20 minutes, you get your 2 hours of cardio. One thing I've started using lately that I really like is blood flow restriction bands. They're B3 Sciences, and I like the fact that they don't have full constriction, so you still get arterial flow, but it blocks venous flow. But I really like using them. If you use them and go for a 15-minute walk, it's the same as an hour walk. If you use them on the Vibrogenics with light weights, I mean, it's unbelievable the workout you get in. I don't know if you've tried that yet with your Vibrogenics.
So I've done it just a handful of times. So I've been using blood flow restriction, or BFR, for several years now. And my routine is I get up in the morning, I make breakfast for the family. I then put on the blood flow restriction and I grab a kettlebell and I walk out and I check the surf. And then I walk back. So I get in about almost a half-mile walk. It takes me about 20 minutes, and I feel like I've gotten a decent workout. I'm nice and warmed up, so if I want to go surf, that's my second workout. But if I don't, I've already had the circulation, and when I take those things off, it just feels so good to have that circulation, to have this little bit of a rush. And
because you're releasing all that extra nitric oxide and lactic acid, and that causes growth hormone release from your brain, and you just feel better. But it's just powerful if you do it on the Vibrogenics. But for busy entrepreneurs, busy moms, all of that, if you can combine all of those together into one thing in 20 minutes,
you make a stack.
Yes, you can radically increase your health.
Yeah. And the few times that I've done it when I've been on Vibrogenics, I almost felt like it was a lot. It was more than what I was expecting.
Oh, yeah. Significantly more challenging.
Yes. It makes everything a little bit more challenging because of the restriction. I mean, there's so many things that are going on physiologically, but combining that with Vibrogenics, I think on the days, if I'm too busy to get a workout in, I think I will start trying that.
Oh, it's highly impactful. I highly recommend it. Well, that's been a lot for our listeners, a lot of information. Thank you so much. I can't wait to collaborate again. You're amazing, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you. It was good to see you again.
Hopefully you go out and surf for something. We're going to go out and water ski.
Oh, have fun.
All right.